Just think of all the lives we can save. How many times have you heard that line or one like it in movies or TV shows, usually from the mouth of someone justifying their own life-taking actions? Caught up in the logical fallacy of the ends justify the means, they overlook who they harm with false visions of the utopian future to be built on the bones of the dead. It is the height of hubris and folly, because it is usually followed by the death of the murderous utopian, at least in the movies and on TV. Neither they nor their victims get to share in the promised earthly utopia. In real life, earthly utopianism and the ends justify the means arguments are lies we feed ourselves and others to justify our sins. In a way, the book of Hosea is the counter to utopianism and the ends justify the means thinking. When God sent Hosea to the nation of Israel, it was living its version of a utopian dream. All their former enemies, Assyria, Egypt, and Syria, were shells of their former and future selves. They were enjoying an Indian summer of peace and prosperity. But rather than look to God as the source of their blessings, they thanked their idols instead. They boasted in their strength instead of trusting in His. They ignored the rot of moral corruption in the bones of those they ground into the dust to satisfy their own appetites. Despite all that, God was hesitant to destroy them and promised a genuine, prosperous future based on Him, as we noted yesterday, Hosea 11, verses 8 through 11. However, that generation would not have a share in the promised glorious future. In another example of a bad chapter break, chapter 11, verse 12 began a statement that continued into chapter 12. It was a declaration of rejection for the physical nations of Israel and Judah. For Israel, it was less than 20 years away, and for Judah, it was 120 years before their punishment would fall. But both would go away. For the descendants of both, the promised prosperous future came 700 years later with Jesus. Going back to the text in Hosea, we're reminded that Israel surrounds God with lies and the house of Israel with deceit. Judah is also unruly against God, even against the Holy One who is faithful. Hosea 11, verse 12. The recitation of their deceit and disobedience continues in 12, verses 1 and 2, ending with God's promise to repay Judah according to his deeds. What lies do we tell ourselves to justify our sins? What future do we claim is worth overlooking the pain and suffering we cause by our own selfish choices today? Parents, do we sacrifice our children's souls on the altar of tomorrow by pouring all our energy and time into work or play? Husbands and wives, do we sacrifice our marriages today while promising a glorious future? Young people, do you sacrifice your relationship with God today on the altar of education? Let's be honest, we're all susceptible to the lie that tomorrow will make all this pain worth it. But if God is not our focus now, then the future is an empty promise. Thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.